Hello, Sally here with Pain Free Professional. Welcome to your second training module of our 3-week program. Last week we talked about grounding, getting the energy, getting yourself stabilized in your body, and also accessing energy from other sources. So basically from the universe. We are energy, and we've all, or many of us have had that test with, do you feel the energy between your hands and how that works? And feeling the energy of others when you go into a room and you don't feel uncomfortable. That is your body saying, something's just a little off, and you leave, right? Or have you ever even looking at a menu and deciding what to eat, and something just really sounds gross. I mean, something you might normally like, yet today, not so much. That's your body just telling you that something's not right. And so listening to what our body says is very, very important. Our body is part of our listening skills, and most of us have learned not to trust our bodies. We learn to live in our heads, figuring things out. And yes, our brain has amazing capabilities. It can remember things most of the time. And it keeps us on track, right? Yet, our bodies can tell us so much more in the subtle realm of what is right for us and for you and for me. So let's look a little bit more into ways to learn to trust your body's reaction, because your brain can tell you information that's not true for you. And this happens from being socialized in a society or a family or a religion that tells you what is right or wrong. And sometimes that information comes in guiding you when you know that it's just not right, either in this situation or it's not right for you. So how do we know? How do we clear our heads and know what to do in any given situation that is best for us in that situation? So yes, our training has taught us to use our brain and go through these steps. But each person that comes into our operatory is slightly different. And how do we respond to them individually so we can give them what they came for? So let's look into that a little bit. But first, you always want to ground into the center of the earth. And then, or you want to connect to the center of the earth. And then you want to have your energy shining down on you. And we symbolize that as a gold sun. It just is nice to have a picture or a feeling, because if you're like most people, you like that warmth of the sun. So those are the two tools that would be always started with. As you progress, you might find bits and pieces of what works best for you and what's your go-to. But right now, we're going to start with that. So one of the tools for clearing out other people's stuff from your head is to just get yourself grounded and take a couple moments. If you need to turn off the recording here, do so. But ground to the center of the earth. Feel the warmth of the center of the earth, or whatever is available to you this time. Your roots may be shallower today or all the way just boom. Whatever shows up is right. Just know that your intention is to ground to the center of the earth. And then, of course, get your gold sun shining. Call your energy back through the gold sun. As caregivers, we have always well, we're caregivers, so we give, right? We give care. And often with that giving of care, we leave little bits of ourselves behind. As in, I left my heart in San Francisco. That kind of stuff. That a part of your emotion, part of your memory is still attached to that area. It doesn't mean you won't remember. It just means there won't be an energetic charge that keeps drawing you back like a magnet. Okay? Feel free to ask any questions throughout this. I want to see, email me, message me, whatever works for you. I need to know if I'm not being clear to you right now. This is also stuff we'll go over in a little bit more depth in our training at the end of the week. So let's go ahead, and the next tool we're going to learn is called Gold Ball or Center of Head. You'll hear me say either one of those. And the seat of your consciousness rests in the center of your head. Remember the sphenoid bone and the stella turcica? It's right there where the pituitary gland is. It's just resting right in the center of your head. Another way to look at that is look from right in between your eyebrows, straight back, and then above the tips of your two ears, and where that line connects is where the center of your head is. So what we'll be doing with this is just allowing or noticing that gold ball in the center of your head. Become aware that it's there. And again, you may not see it, or you might not feel it. You might know it. There are a lot of ways just to be aware of something. And so that's all I'm asking you to do today, is to become aware that you have this seat of consciousness right in the center of your head. And just notice what size that gold ball is today. It may be very small, the size of a raisin, or it can be bigger, like maybe a baseball or a soccer ball. But our intention is to make it at some point the size of about a walnut or a ping pong ball. And so just notice that in the center of your head. And after you've grounded and filled yourself with your energy, you're going to be able to tell if it's a little forward or off to the side, or even if it's vibrating, jumping around, what it feels like today. So I'd like you to rest in the back of your head. Notice the back of your skull, right behind the ball in the center of your head. And just notice that right now. And in this space, you would be calm. If you're feeling any agitation or busy brain, that can just be from everything that's been going on and you are not being you right now. So in the center of your head, you're just going to invite that ball to expand slowly. So say it's the size of a ping pong ball. And it's the size of a softball and a soccer ball and a beach ball. And then you're going to invite it to expand out to your shoulders, 360 degrees around. Kind of like an astronaut's helmet or a deep sea diver's helmet. And just enjoy that and notice how that feels to you. And then we're going to invite that ball just to shrink down. A little smaller, to the size of a beach ball, to the size of a soccer ball, to the size of a softball, a baseball, and a ping pong ball. And notice how you feel. And you can say hello to yourself in the center of your head. If you feel a sense of calm, it's good. If you hear yourself, say hello back. That's good. If you hear somebody else's voice, or you actually envision somebody else in your head, or even as you are expanding, somebody else's face showed up, or the thought of them showed up, they are living in your head. They're taking up real estate in your head. So if you don't feel that sense of calm or hear your voice saying hello or just know that it's you, I'm going to invite you to stop the recording and just do that more slowly. Because it means that somebody else is running your life. And you can give others permission to guide you and help you, but you're the only one who can make decisions in your life. And that decision may be to do what the other person is saying, but you have made that decision. Not somebody else who said, oh, you should, or it'll be scary if you don't. Anything from fear is not you. It's something I've learned. So please, please pay attention to yourself in the center of your head. So welcome back. If you stopped the recording and did that again, congrats to you. It'll get easier as we go along. As you practice this more and more, there'll be less to have to clear. Another tool that you can use with this is blowing roses. Now, roses are chosen as an example because roses have a nice connotation, not like too much energy attached to them. You can pick whatever you want. You can blow up waterfalls. You can blow up Christmas trees. You can blow whatever you want. You can even experiment with blowing things up. And when I say blowing things up, I mean exploding them like fireworks. And if there's an energy, even in your operatory, this is a quick tip. even in your operatory, if things are not going in a smooth way, just explode those roses just in your head. Just imagine that you've got fireworks of roses or whatever you choose exploding. And that just gets the energy to shift. Stuck energy brings us pain, brings us strife. And as long as it's moving, that's good. You just want things to be moving. You know, you hear people say, oh, I just feel stuck. Perfect time to blow roses, just to get things shifting. And insights will come, or they'll at least start moving in a direction, and it's kind of like momentum. Once you're going someplace, it's easier to navigate. So that's a great tip anytime you're having trouble with any of these tools that I'm going to be sharing with you. If you're having trouble, explode some roses or whatever you choose. So we'll move on to our next tool for today that's for you to gain clarity. But you'd have to be good. You have to have practiced clearing your head and making sure that it's your information. Okay? So our next tool for today is to put 3 gold balls on top of your head. Stack them up. You might get more than 3 balls, and that's okay. They might be big, like a yoga ball. They might be little. Any size is fine, and it might be different on different days. So we're going to stack those gold balls on top of our heads. And you want them to be in the center, right on the top, and you want them to go up. And you want them to be gold. If they're not gold, I suggest that you clear your head one more time. And if they still are not gold, let me know, okay? Because this can be a sign that there's something else that's kind of blocking your information from coming all the way in, okay? You've lived without this information for a while, and another week or two is not going to make the end of the world, right? I know this is all new. But if you've ever taken yoga, this is the same kind of connection that you're making. If you've ever felt the joy when you've been singing or gardening or doing something that you love, this is the connection that you're making. The only difference here is you're doing it with intention. You're doing it when you want it. And you know now the power that can come with this, the control that you can take back in your life, even though in our profession, we often feel like we don't really have control. So balance those 3 gold balls on the top of your head. And remember in our training, our personal training or face-to-face training, how I said to ground and give that grounding cord a downward flow from the base of your spine. We're going to invite a light coming from the other direction, coming down from the heavens, the cosmos, God, source. I even have one client who says the big guy. So whoever you think of when it comes to how you got here and what keeps your heart beating when you don't think about it, and what keeps your blood flowing and your nerves telling you what to do when you don't even think about it. Where does that source come from? This is not a religious training at all. It's a connection to the energy that is all around us. So we're inviting a gold beam of light to come down through those 3 gold balls. And you want to make sure that you're grounded for this, because sometimes a lot of things can start to come in. This can help you with your creativity, with your confidence, and with your choice making. Oh, it can make it so clear to you what the best next step is for you. So as that information comes in, invite it to also go down your spine and meet up with where your grounding cord is connected. And as your grounding cord had a downward flow, you can let some of that energy go back down, and then you're going to let the other part of it go up, back up. So this connection, if you feel it in your spine, is really powerful. I kind of jumped right into all this fun stuff. But I'd like you to take about 10 minutes after this call just to refine a little bit so that we'll be ready to go when I see you on our next call. All right? Please, again, contact me with questions. A confused mind stops, says, no, I can't do this, right? It's too much. So we need to talk if you have any doubts, any questions. Thanks. Bye for now.